All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are now going to take a look at the latest hot stove rumors and news around the league, and that'll be the second part of the show here. So we'll go back to about like a week ago. Actually, no, a little less than that. But the stuff talking about what the New York teams could do in terms of the relievers. So the Yankees, they're interested in Hector Neris, the right-handed pitcher from the Astros, which, listen, I wouldn't say no to that. I would take that. But also, I saw something else where they could also just try to bring back, their relievers that they had, like Kenyon Middleton and Wandy Peralta, which I'd be okay with as well. But I know Yankee fans would probably be like, oh, well, they're not spending. They're getting the cheaper options or whatever. Here's the thing. For me, if they go that route, I'm fine with that because Middleton actually wasn't that bad when the Yankees got him. He was really the only move that they acquired somebody else, but he ended up not making an appearance. But they got Middleton. That was like their only move at the deadline, which was very disappointing. However, when he did pitch, I thought he was good. And Wandy Peralta, he's been a good reliever for them. So I'd be fine with the Yankees bringing him back, even if we don't end up getting, Hector Neris or somebody else. But, now it's, now that Hader's gone, I mean, listen, I would have been fine with getting Josh Hader because, one of the best closers in the league. But, maybe the Yankees didn't want to pay him that much. But you know what? I feel like they're doing this. I feel like they're trying to take, I don't want to say they're being cheap, but I feel like they're going the less expensive routes because they're trying to they want to bring back Juan Soto after this year. They want to throw as much money at Juan Soto as they can. That's why they'll sign Stroman. They're not trying to give Blake Snell a big giant contract. They weren't going to go as they weren't going to give him as big of a contract that he wants. Unless he brings down the price, maybe they can meet in the middle somewhere and the Yankees could sign him. I feel like they want to throw as much money at Juan Soto as they can when he hits free agency. Now, if they don't do that, well, then this doesn't mean anything. And listen, this is me expressing confidence in my team where, the last couple of years, yeah, I'm not as confident, especially with what happened last year. But I feel like now that they have Juan Soto, they're going to do everything they can to bring him back. They're going to throw a lot of money at him. And I think he's the player to do that too because of, his age and the kind of player that he is. But again, only time will tell. So, and we'll see what the Mets do. I mean, they could be looking to next year. I mean, I feel like this team, I don't think the Mets are going to be one of the worst teams in baseball, but I don't think they're going to be, they're most certainly not World Series contenders, but could they maybe sneak in and be a wild card possibly? I mean, we'll see. But I don't know. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. Also, Noah Syndergaard has been getting interest, and actually it says, so Fansided's Robert Murray reports that about 16 teams watched. Okay, I thought it was going to say they had interest. Watch free agent starter Noah Syndergaard throw a bullpen session. Okay. Michael Lorenzen also threw a bullpen session there as well, another pitcher. Murray specifically mentions the Padres and Pirates as two clubs that are interested in Syndergaard. Yeah, I mean, Syndergaard used to be really good, but he's fallen off. I mean, it didn't really work out with the Dodgers. He was also with the Guardians for a bit. I forgot about that, honestly. It's just crazy because you go back to that 2015 Mets rotation, and no one's there anymore. DeGrom, now he's on Texas. Matz was with the Cardinals. I think, yeah, he's still there. Syndergaard with him. What happened with him? Zach Wheeler's now with the Phillies. He's one of the best pitchers, in baseball. But he's with the division rival. And then obviously, with the stuff with Matt Harvey, him just, him falling apart, him getting injured, and, some off the field stuff as well. Yeah, it's amazing what happened with the with that rotation, because that could have been a very good rotation for a long time, but just didn't pan out that way. Also reports the Royals are looking to add a closer, so they added some veteran starters. They added Seth Lugo, Michael Wacha, but I think didn't they also add I think they added Will Smith as well, another reliever, if I'm not mistaken. But they're looking to add another arm to their pitching staff. So, and we'll kind of see what the Royals, what kind of season the Royals end up having. I mean, because 100 loss season wasn't good. I think they'll get. I don't think they're going to reach that again this year, but who knows? Yeah, again, 2015. We talked about the Mets rotation, the Royals, being World Series champs. I mean, look at where they are now. They're trying to rebuild. So, yeah. Then also another thing, the Orioles are in on Michael Lorenzen. I mean, again, the Orioles, that's a team. They're trying to improve their pitching staff. And they tried doing that at the deadline. They got Jack Flaherty, last year. I think they also get Kyle Gibson, or Kyle Gibson was already there. I forget off the top of my head, but that's one of their flaws is their pitching staff, and their bullpen is good. Although again, they're going to be without their closer, so they brought in Kimbrel, which is going to be a mixed bag for them, but they had to do something. So they're just trying to improve that pitching staff. Also, some news on Joey Votto. So apparently the Angels are showing interest in Votto. The Reds are not planning to pursue a reunion. So his time in Cincinnati looks like it's over. Actually, the Angels, they also brought back... these are the pitchers they've added. So Matt Moore they brought back recently. Robert Stevenson, Zach Plesac, and Adam Simber. So they're trying to, again, improve their pitching staff. I think Stevenson was one of the top relievers that was available, if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm thinking of somebody else, but yeah. So, the Angels, they're trying. They got to improve this lineup. I mean that's, kind of where they need to make up for the loss of Ohtani somehow. But I don't know if, bringing Joey Votto in at his age is going to exactly do that. But again, it's a lefty bat. I don't think it could hurt. But, well, let's be honest. Nobody is replacing Ohtani. It's not going to happen. But I don't know. I feel bad for Angels fans because I feel like they're just going to be in this, they're going to be in the same place they've been for the last, however many years it's been since they've made the playoffs, even though they kind of were one and done in the playoffs. They got eliminated by the Royals. I mean, it's going to be almost 10 years. It's going to be 10 years because, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. But, yeah, it's going to be basically 10 years since they missed the playoffs. And, yeah, it's going to continue because they're just, I don't know. They're just not they're not a well-run organization, so. But, hey, I did see that, fans, at least on social media, were kind of happy with how the pitching staff maybe is coming together. So I don't know. We'll see if it's improved, but with what they've done. So also, again, talking about the Yankees, so they've talked with some relievers. So I guess, well, let's see. Who have they talked with? Hector Neris, Wandy Peralta, Kenyon Middleton, Ryan Brazier, and Phil Matone. I think that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I mispronounced the name, but yeah. I mean, listen, I'd be fine with them. I honestly want them to bring back Wandy because they had another lefty to the bullpen because they did also get the reliever from the Dodgers that's a lefty as well. I'd be fine with the Yankees having more than one lefty in the bullpen. I'm okay with what the Yankees do with the bullpen because that's been the strength of the team for so long that even if we don't, they could always get an arm at the deadline. I think whatever they do with the bullpen, they're gonna figure it out, and I trust Matt Blake because Matt Blake is a genius when it comes to working with pitchers. So I mean, look what he's done with Clay Holmes. I trust with the Yankees. That's the one thing that I'll trust the Yankees with is the bullpen. Now, Clay Holmes is the closer. Still not crazy about it. I mean, Clay Holmes has been solid since we got him, but one word to describe him: inconsistent. So, but yeah, so that's what the Yankees have done. So it looks like they're trying to add some more pitching. I mean, it seems like they're done adding to the rotation. And again, if the rotation is a problem, then they're going to go out and they want to compete this year. They got to go out and they're going to have to try to get a starter. Believe me, I would have loved if they went out and they traded for Corbin Burns. But, you have to give up a lot to get some of these guys. Maybe they don't want to do that because they already gave up a lot to get Soto. They gave up a lot of their pitching to get Soto, a lot of their depth, and now they're trying to, get some depth back. So, and then like the latest rumor is, one of the Astros relievers, and that's Ryan Stanek of the Astros. So he's getting interest from the Red Sox and the Cubs. So we'll see, maybe the Astros, well, not the Astros, maybe one of these teams gets him. Because, again, I mean, that's why the Astros went out and got Hader, because now their bullpen was kind of thin with, some of those guys being free agents like him, like Naris, and then, of course, like I said before, Graveman getting hurt, so, and being out for the season, or getting surgery. So, yeah, but that's pretty much it with the hot stove rumors. There again, Bellinger. It seems like I did see that. It seems like a reunion between him and the Cubs is the most likely scenario because you saw like the Blue Jays maybe the Giants are trying to bring in people. Yeah, it seems like the Cubs and the and Cody Bellinger. That seems to be a reunion. Seems likely. So, and I think that'd be good for him, because, I mean, he's coming off of a good season. You go elsewhere. I mean, I don't know, change of scenery. Maybe it's, not, the best. I don't know. Well, then again, I mean, he had a rough couple of years with the Dodgers, and he goes to the Cubs, and he has a good year. Personally, for me, I would have liked him the Yankees to sign him, but I get it. I mean, I'd be worried too. You sign him to a big contract. Is he going to be able to repeat what he did last year? I mean, if he goes back to the Cubs and has an awful year, then it's like, all right, well, we lucked out. You don't want to get stuck with I don't want the Yankees getting stuck with another bad contract because we got a couple of those on the team, but so yeah, and then nothing really on Matt Chapman, Blake Snell, and Jordan Montgomery. There's really nothing going on with those big free agents. So just got to continue to play the waiting game until they sign. I mean, I'll tell you by the next time we do a show, I'll say one of those guys does end up getting signed, or maybe all of them do, because Hader got signed, so that at least gave us something to talk about. So before we go into our second break of the show, I just want to remind you guys once again. To tip or donate, get your comments recognized, make sure to go to the following link. That is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. Again, that really helps the show. It makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. Again, that is streamelements.com/gsmcsportsnetwork./tip. And as always, it is displayed on the ticker on the bottom of the show segment down below. So when we come back from our second break of the show, we will take a look at the Hall of Fame results, the class of 2024. So we'll talk about that when we come back from our second break of the show. So stick around and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast.